Hello and blessings to all. So, as we are anticipating 2022, well, this is going to be my last live for 2021, and you know what it's going to be about. Well, of course, being grateful to God once again. In addition to that, I'm going to give a testimony about some things that happened to me during the earlier portion of this year that could take me out, but the Lord. So before I do all of that, and of course naturally is life, right? So don't be thinking this is no way like yeah. So as I was saying, right, before I go into that, I want to play a few songs, all right, and therefore I go into testimony, and then I'll be out of here. Okay, so give me a few minutes. Let me share the live. Okay, and while I'm sharing the live, so if you all are not aware, yesterday I released one of my singles, and if you have not heard it, I'm gonna play it now. If you like it, download it or add it to your Spotify, Apple, whatever, Deezer, whatever you own. If you want to see the music video, it's on YouTube. Alright, so I'm gonna play. It's called Set Me Free. My name Michelle. Well, CN Augustine, okay. Set me free. Set me free. Set me free, God. Set me free. Set me free to worship thee. Set me free to worship you in spirit. Set me free, God, to worship you in truth. Set me free to worship thee, Lord, now and forever. We worship thee. Set me free, set me free, that I may worship thee. Set me free, set me free, that I may worship. Set me free, set me free, that I may worship thee. Set me free to worship thee. Set me free to be a living example. Set me free, God, to walk in your ways. Set me free to be obedient to your word. Set me free, God, set me free. Set me free, set me free, that I may worship thee. Set me free, set me free, that I may worship. Set me hello. So, as I said before, this live is going to be about a couple of things, being grateful to God. In addition to that, I'm going to give a testimony about something that happened to me earlier on during the year. And I'm grateful to God for keeping me in the land of the living. Right, but before I do that, I said I'm sharing the live, and then I am going to play a couple of songs, and then I'll give the testimony. Okay, so the next song I'm going to play, Thank God I Made It. It has not been an easy beginning of 2021. I don't know what you people have been through, but some have been experiencing the pandemic in a more, should I say, negative manner than others. Some have not really been mainly impacted by the pandemic. I, on the other hand, have been affected by some spiritual things that only a few will be able to understand. But anyways, thank God I made it. Not made it to make a song, but made it to be alive at this point in time. So this song is for that. Thank God I made it, going out by the spirit, and nothing just control it, it's in my blood now. Thank God I made it, going out by the spirit, and nothing just control it. It's in my blood, it's in my blood, this was in my blood, yeah. It's in my blood now, it's in my blood, it's in my blood, this was in my blood, yeah. Thank God I made it, going out by the spirit, and nothing just control it. It's in my blood now. Now, before I go into the last song, before I go into that testimony, hear what? As I said before, if you don't know, I released a song yesterday. Thank God for His goodness, love, and mercy, and for life. Of course, if you haven't heard this, you can go and check it out. I have it in the comments there. Alright. I don't know what you are asking God for, but the Bible says, ask and shall be given. You see me? It's a plenty things to ask God for. But one thing I need going into 2022 is grace. 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 And more grace. That's what I need. So hear this one. Grace. Only grace. Yes, Lord. Grace 2022. Cause I know that my one to show my race up. Baba, you try for my kiss up. And I know I'll never be ashamed to your name. Oh, do I give me your kiss up. Cause I know that my one to show my race up. Oh, Lord is God. Baba, you try for my kiss up. And I know I never bring shame to your name. So you give me that grace. Give me that. I know I never put you to shame. Give me that grace. I know I never put you to shame. No. In 2022 is grace. God, that's what I need. Make I never play my anointing. Cause you didn't cover me, I need to protect me. Every day it's working. I never bet your hand is upon me. Make I never play my anointing. Cause you didn't cover me, I need to protect me. Every day, man, it's working. This is all I want from you. I need it. Bring me to the overflow. I need it. Fill me with your praise. Put me in the space where you got my steps every day. I need it. Yes, I need it. You know I need it. I said, you know I need it. Grace, yes, Lord. Oh, Lord, give me your grace. Cause I know that my one to shut my wrist up. Baba, you try for my kiss up. And I know I never been shame to your name. God, I call your name on a daily. I didn't try my best, but I'm ready. God, you did so, you want to so, yeah. God, I call your name on a daily. I didn't try my best, but I'm ready. God, I need your grace, oh, yeah. I need more grace, oh, no. Oh, you are giving your grace, oh. Cause I know by my one to shut my wrist up. Baba, you try for my kiss up. And I know I never reach into your name. So you give me that. I know I never put you to shame. Give me that grace. I know I never put you to shame. No. God is good. Grace and more grace for 2022. Amen. Don't put God to shame. Don't put God to shame at all. Okay. So there we go. As I said, after I done play some music, right, my music going into 2022 is about time to give this testimony. Now I had to outline some of my things because it happened so earlier in the year at the very beginning and stuff. brains, so sometimes, I may not be able to recall everything. So I had to outline it. So I will be looking at my notes here just to remember. So at the end of last year, I did give a video concerning some things that was happening. And it happened that these things continue happening basically. I was experiencing a pain, the right side lower down. I thought it was my appendix. And it kind of was delaying me from doing my dance that I uploaded on Facebook last year before the end closed, right? But as 2021 started, my life, I don't know, like the connection how it go, I just started to feel so like distance, feel like not to pray and stuff. No, I was not praying. I was still praying, but it was not like where I was with God right prior to that, and it was feeling real strange, like a real stronghold coming against the sister. So I said sister, right? That's how I talk, not sister or sister, but yeah. And I end up, what did I do? Well, of course, pray. I believe in prayer. I believe in prayers and stuff. And it kept happening, going and coming. It was not like constant, but it was like a going and coming. I remember one of the Sundays in January, I went to a church after my church. And I went to the funeral, real sick, and the pastor, Kent Miller, picked it up. He told me to come for prayer. I wasn't going for prayer. He said, I'm going to come for prayer. Good thing I went out for prayer, because if I did not go up for prayer, what happened to me later on that evening? Oh, Jesus, Father God, you alone know, yes. I remember around 5 o'clock that evening, I felt so much better after I prayed. 5 o'clock that Sunday evening, I was talking to my good friend. And just so I started to feel, I'm not too familiar with how fleas does thing on the skin, but it's something like that all over my hand. I just feel this thing, I not see nothing, yeah. I tell them, I say feeling these things, and I don't know, and like it don't want to go away. By the time it was to me to go and do my devotion, what happened to me, boy? I end up what was I doing? I end up basically saying my prayers, and there's no one is witchcraft for them. As I start to pray, oh God, all hell broke loose. Well, some of hell, whatever, demons. I started to feel my whole body like pins all over my back. Oh God, just thinking about what I don't even want to think about. It was so bad. Pain, and I just praying and knowing that nobody in the same place where I am, well, house that I am, it have people around on the same premises, but not people in the same house exactly. And all I know is God, nobody to call, no human to call, and nobody know what's going on with me. That, it's me and God. I say, oh gosh, Jesus, it's you alone to help me out of this situation. It's real pain. I'm telling you, it's real pain. I just had to pray and worship for probably almost an hour and a half until that thing left. And then you think that was the end of it. I can't remember too good, but I believe I called someone I told them what happened afterwards. I can always be grateful to God, knowing that He's really Lord Jesus Christ, because I have my relationship with God. I know that when there's nobody physically there to help me, who I could call upon, it does not be easy, but I know who I could depend on, because I've experienced it on my screen. Okay, so as time went along, someone encouraged me that you need to go by the doctor to take a checkup based on what these things was happening to me. So I decided to go by the hospital to take a checkup. They did an ultrasound. That was in January of this year. When they did the ultrasound, and then afterwards I had to go for a reading. I went by a private doctor to get a reading. When the doctor asked me what is the issue, I told them what I was experiencing. But when the doctor checked the ultrasound, she was like, nothing wrong with you. Okay, cool. Don't start to get suspicious, because I know this is not the first time I went by doctors and I'm experiencing things, and the doctors can't see nothing. I said, okay. So around February of this year, It was the 8th of February. I got up that morning feeling real sick. I said I'm gonna go by the doctor because things happening, going and coming. Also that pain and choking and all this kind of thing. I said I'm gonna go by my doctor to get some more tests. Well, when I went to my doctor, I told him I already took an ultrasound because he didn't know I took an ultrasound. And good thing I carried the ultrasound and he read it. And I told him that even sometimes in the night I started to feel like inside my bone. If you never feel this before, you'll not understand what I see. But inside, like if there, I can't say ants, but some kind of insect like inside my skin, inside on my bone, just literally trying to eat over me. That's how it was feeling. Saying so terrible. In that moment, when that kept happening, it happened like 3 days in a row, stop off. Every other week come back again. I was like, Lord Father, I can't do this now. This thing real dread, boy. This thing real painful, boy. I started to say, oh gosh, boy, Lord, if you don't have a purpose for me here, it's best I go. And that's what I was thinking, because it was so bad. I just wanted to go. I said, I have to stay on this earth because God has me here to accomplish a purpose. Look, the ultrasound is right inside of this. When the doctor, not the ultrasound, because they will have taken the ultrasound and basically, I have a copy of it, but they took the original. But the x-ray is right inside of here. It was exactly on the 8th, as I said. If you check that, the 8th, oh gosh, it's not showing too good, but yeah. It was on the 8th of February this year. I know it's not showing too clear, but whatever. And that was the first time I took an x-ray. And when he went through, he said, like, nothing not wrong with you. There's nothing on your bone, nothing. I said, okay, this thing is evil stuff. This thing is not normal because I take ultrasound, I take x-ray. They can't give me no treatment because they cannot see nothing. But then I came to realization, I have to remember, this walk with Christ is not an easy walk. And Job is somebody, the story of Job is something I tend to go back to. Looking at Job, God allowed Job to go through a situation for one, to test him, for two, to prove to the enemy that what he thought about Job is not true. And basically, when Job came out of that situation, it was for an increase in his life. And you know, it's only after going through all of this on a continual basis and just holding on to God, having faith with the help of God and just keeping the faith. It was like March of this year, I asked God, because since 2016, it has been happening before, but in 2016 is when I started to take it seriously. God has just been giving me a number of songs. We asked God, when should I start getting these songs produced? But it's only in March of this year when I asked God again, it was like a Wednesday or something, and the Sunday I went to one of my friend's church. And the pastor said, whatever God has been giving you, it's time for you to start working on these things. I was like, okay. So that's most likely what the enemy is trying to block me from. God allow it because in Christ, you have to be able to pass tests. It does not be easy. Not everybody go through the same things. Some situations may be more intense than others, but don't ever put your trust in man more than God. Right? Don't ever put your trust in man more God. Because I was in a situation at night where I have nobody there. And the only person I could call is God. Somebody trying to call people, you're not even getting through them. The only person I could call is Jesus. Right? And knowing that, oh God, this thing is painful. At times I would call people to pray to because it was so terrible. It was so unbelievable. Like, they couldn't even understand what I was going through. What? Only God and I understood. Anyways, we are soon going to enter into 2022 and I don't have much to say, but thank God for life, thank God for his goodness, thank God for his mercy, because it wasn't by the grace of God and God helping me to keep strong and to hold the faith. I wouldn't have been here today. I might have been 6 feet dead under rot and God. But God is good forever. He's good, and whoever is on there, God bless you, and you all the best. God's blessings upon you for the new year 2022. Make sure and make it a great year. Yes, faith, you must believe, and you must also have works. So I'm out of here. Be blessed.